now we get to talk about one, Pete, that you and Lopresti spoke about last week. That's Mark Lopresti, of course. And Affirm. Affirm last week popped all the way up to about 38 bucks a share on some very strong earnings. And this is one that Pete and I, again, multiple times we've discussed how our friends, for instance, Bryn Talkington, really understands the company, really thought that there were a lot of competitors out there. Certainly there were, and a lot of competitors went after them, including Apple for buy now, pay later. But guess what? Now Apple has pared back and they've said, you know what? We're not going to do this. We're not going to play this game. Instead, we're going to give you guys, Affirm, the buy now, pay later. I'm not saying they're giving them an exclusive, Pete, but Apple has closed down their buy now, pay later business. I think they worry about the risks for such a small margin for Apple, Pete, because keep in mind, folks, their margins for things like, I don't know, the iTunes and some of their other stores or businesses that they run are in the 30% and up range. And I don't think they were happy with this little bit of profit that you can eke out with a buy now, pay later scheme.
Well, what I like about Apple, John, is they're willing to admit when they're wrong. I mean, we've talked about time and time again, they're not always the first to actually act in the first place, but they usually turn out to be one of the very best when it's all said and done. They also have the ability to kind of swallow their ego and say, you know what, this didn't work. That's exactly what we're seeing here. They basically scrapped the whole idea, said to the Affirm, hey, you know what? You guys get the shot. By the way, they added them to the wallet almost immediately, John. So I think Affirm is going to – I actually looked at Affirm to see maybe it got a little bit of a spike. It really didn't, but the market was kind of a little bit weaker as we've gotten into the day, and I think that was part of the reason as well. But nonetheless, I think this is going to be good news for Affirm as long as they can take advantage of this as much as they can. But certainly it just shows you once again that Apple, if it's not going to work, they're okay with it. They're going to scrap it. They'll let somebody else take care of it. It's exactly what we're seeing here today. And I think that's another testament to why Apple is so good, John, is because of that. And by the way, we are seeing some very interesting, unusual option activity in Apple today where they're kind of going out and they're going up. They're going out in time and up in strike. So people are still pretty bullish in Apple right now.
I don't blame them. And I am bullish on, full disclosure, Pete. I put on a position in Affirm, and my belief is that the fact that Apple folded up its buy now, pay later scheme, and that Affirm is now more or less, approved by Apple, blessed by Apple to be their provider of that service, I think that drives this thing right back towards 40. Not tomorrow, not the next day, but if you're somebody like me who puts on a position maybe out 2 or 3 months into the future, I think I'll be rewarded for that. Not advice. I'm just telling you what I did, folks.